I rent out the spare bedroom in my house for $800 a month, market rate in my area. I don't know my roommate very well, but we work for the same company. I work early mornings, and she works late evenings. So we are often ships passing in the night. On Friday my hot water heater broke. The home warranty guy said they couldn't get anyone out until Monday morning. It's hot as balls right now, so I wasn't too upset. A few cold showers won't kill anyone. I texted my tenant hot water is out until Monday and she responded. I didn't see her all weekend, which is normal, as I said. The guy got here at 8 AM to fix the heater. When he was done I texted her to let her know the hot water was back on. She hits me with this gem. My hotel bill was $250. Do you want to reimburse me now, or deduct it from next month's rent? I stared at the text for a good while. I didn't even know she was gone. She got a hotel room just for hot water? That's so extra. She could have showered at work, but she got a hotel room. I texted, hey, I didn't know you left. Rent is still due in full on the 1st of the month, regardless of if you choose to sleep elsewhere for a weekend. She texted me back there was no water. I couldn't stay there. You're my landlord and have to provide me with livable accommodations. I texted back there was water, just not hot. If it was winter, you might have a point. Rent is still due in full. Failure to pay rent will result in me filing with the court, which will impact your credit. She stopped responding. I texted a friend who said I was way too harsh and should have just counted with a $50 discount for those 2 days or something. Which, sure, if she'd asked for a $50 reduction, that would have been reasonable. But I'm not paying for her hotel and the audacity of her to ask me pisses me off. But I know jumping to talking about filing a 30 days was a bit dramatic. Was I tar? Info. What do the renters laws in your area say about this situation? You are a landlord, and you are subject to those laws, whether you like it or not, whether you have a formal lease or not. Whether something is legally correct, and whether it makes you an asshole are two totally different questions. You could be a person who goes around suing everyone for everything, and doing all sorts of stuff like what this girl did, and you'd be acting legally, and might even win with good lawyers, but everyone would still regard you as an asshole. NTA. So many people are forgetting that most municipalities include a reasonable amount of time to repair a habitability issue. The next business day would absolutely be found inside those parameters. I wonder if some dumb friend gassed them up thinking they could get a free hotel for the weekend. My uncle is a lawyer and he said, even if the law requires OP to provide alternative accommodation, she doesn't get to choose the place, and certainly not without any kind of notice or negotiation. You don't mind a cold shower. That's fine, but you suck for assuming your tenant feels the same way. She sucks for being passive aggressive about the $250. Both of you need to communicate better and compromise. She said, how else should he have interpreted it? If she had an issue, or felt some way, he can't know, unless she says so. If it bothered her so much time find a place, maybe she should have said something up front. You don't get to check into a hotel if you're choosing without communicating. OP communicated the water heater outage, and it was fixed the next business day. NTA. She should have had that discussion with you before booking a hotel room. Though you should check what your responsibilities are as a landlord in your area. I don't have any, as long as the house has working plumbing, water, electricity and is structurally sound. Not having hot water is what's called a habitability violation. In my state the landlord would owe the tenant a discount in the form of prorated rent. In your case, that would come to $26.67 per day the water heater was out of commission, assuming a 30-day month. You need to learn your responsibility as a landlord. She needs to talk to you before expecting reimbursement for a hotel. You both need to learn to communicate. In most places, the landlord-tenant laws are *very* different if the people involved are sharing living space, as opposed to a tenant renting a full home from a landlord who lives elsewhere. OP needs to check their local laws, but in any case a loss of habitability would be, a tough sell for housing court when it was 2 days and a repair plan was in place. NTA. That is something that should have been discussed prior to her getting a hotel room. She should not have assumed or expected it. Also, I agree with you that if it was winter it would be a different story. Your delivery was direct and reasonable. She is asking for hotel reimbursement. That's too much. A better choice would be to prorate the rent by the number of days full utilities were not provided. Take those days out of the monthly rent. She chose to go to the hotel. That's on her. You can't expect full payment when full utilities were not provided. Hot water is one of those. I may be wrong, but usually hotel reimbursement is done through renter's insurance, not the landlord. Info: what does the law say? You can't charge rent for a structurally unsound dwelling, or one where the water or electricity have either been disconnected intentionally, or been out for more than 24 hours, or a building without working plumbing. Hot water is not required. NTA, but in many places hot water is required for it to be livable. See the following. https://www.nalo.com/legal encyclopedia/freebooks/renters rights book/chapter 7-2.html. https://www.nalo.com/legal encyclopedia/freebooks/renters rights book/chapter 7.2.html, or https://ocl.illinois.edu/rights and responsibilities/rights/ https://ocl.illinois.edu/rights and responsibilities/rights/. That said, you acted in a reasonable time frame to rectify it, so I don't know what she was expecting. Also, the roommate should have had a conversation with you instead of just getting a hotel room and assuming that was the solution. Hot water is necessary for a dwelling to be legally fit to rent. Losing hot water for a reasonable period after you signed the lease does not magically make the place unfit, as long as it is repaired in a reasonable time frame. happens, and the legal term reasonable acknowledges this. $800 for one room LMAO. IDC if it's market price you are waxing lady. Info: what state/location are you in? You keep saying that hot water is not part of a livable space under local law, but you aren't citing any actual legal code when you do so, just claiming it isn't. Every state I've researched in the USA so far says the landlord is required to rent a dwelling that is fit to be lived in. It must have working plumbing, hot water and heating, be structurally sound, and have reasonable security, including working and locking doors and windows, and it must be free of pests. Info: it depends on the rental laws in your state/city and the terms of your lease agreement. I cannot give you an answer. NTA: she should have checked with you first before expecting you to pay for a hotel room. My apartment got sprayed for bugs. I had to be out for 24 hours because of my cats, so I had to get a hotel room out of my pocket. When there is no hot water, we boil water to take a bath. I think your tenant took this as an opportunity to be lazy and get a nice hotel room. $250 for the night sounds on the more expensive side. Do you have a rental agreement with your tenant? You definitely should not have paid for the hotel in the bug situation. NTA: I think you were reasonable. I've been in her situation. No hot water sucks, but it's not a necessity. In my city, hot water is not considered essential. Also, a room rental in a private residence that the owner lives in, Fair Housing Act doesn't even apply in my city. SAT. No WTF, how is she being defended? Like seriously, if she had communicated in which she didn't, it would be a whole different ball game. As the landlord, I'm sure they are aware of the law and if the living conditions are livable or not. If they weren't, I don't doubt they would have said I think getting a hotel would be smart due to blah blah blah. But that wasn't the case. Hotel that expensive, she was trying to get a little vaca on someone else's dime.